If you in there, nigga, I'm ghost.
So this one's gonna be. Usually, it's gonna be from Collision to. No. Usually, it's gonna be from Raw to Collision. This time, because it was the Royal Rumble, I wasn't able to watch Collision, and also I wasn't able to watch this week's Collision. I was late to it. I'm like, oh, I feel like I should be watching something tonight. And I was like, nah, we already had the Royal Rumble. We have Stand and Deliver, which is when I'm streaming in less than 90 minutes. And then it was like 8:48 where I'm like, oh, damn, Collision. I didn't even remember until it was trending on Twitter. I was like, oh, fuck. Forgot about it. And I had work, and basically got ready to start my stream, so I was not able to watch it this time. So this one's going to be from Collision all the way to Smackdown. But, thumbs up, subscribe. Let's get it, man. We open up with Jon Moxley and Claudio versus Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty. Hype crowd out the gate. Better attendance than Savannah, even against the Royal Rumble. Now, granted, it was probably half the side, and y'all probably didn't have crazy attendance, but at least the fans were hype, unlike Savannah.
So, Shane Taylor into the forearm and then a lariat.
How strong is Claudio Castagnoli?
One of the strongest men.
And also, like I said, this was going on during the Royal Rumble, so these people actually watching as the Royal Rumble. Well, I don't know. They could do it because, let's see. They're going to have tickets that go out. And they have Collision on the Friday. I think on the Friday. So, unless they just changed it for that day. But I don't think that they would. So it could have been a situation like that, and then it was like a pre-recorded thing, because they're not gonna. They obviously pretend that Rampage is actually on Friday, even though they do it after Dynamite. But there's a fire pin attempt. He did some crazy shit. I don't even remember what he did.
Oh, and there it is, the rear naked choke. Oh, great escape from Lee Moriarty. There's the fall.
But then after that pin, it led to Moxley hitting the RKO. Listen.
What an incredible pinning combination it was. Oh, and Lee Moriarty. And
I'm sorry, there's just certain moves that... There's not even certain moves. There's a few number of moves that... This is just what it's called. I know it's the cutter. I know people do variations. But it's always going to be the RKO. Unless you do some different type of thing with it. Another chokeout victory. We get a win for Moxley and Claudio. We get Orange Cassidy versus Commander for the international title. Orange Cassidy wins by pinfall. Decent match. Nothing too crazy. And obviously, not obviously, but it makes sense for them to keep Orange Cassidy with the title until March, because of this whole that's been a failure, bro. And we're gonna be talking about failure when we get to the end of this episode. But that whole storyline, around that time, that whole storyline is when I started watching. We get We get Mariah May versus Lady Frost. Mariah May gets the win, pinfall win. It's like her second. Well, granted. I don't know. I was gonna say granted this person, but they say this is the record of 2024, so obviously it's the new year. But I was gonna say there's some people who have their first match and they just lose. But so like second or third match. So she get the pinfall win, better than expected. Actually, I think this was her second match. She might have had another match, a third match after this, but I think at this time this is her second match in AEW. Cause I remember the first match, I was like, I was in Tony Storm's book. I don't. Okay, yeah. Did you do an arm drag? Like that's how I'm rocking. But I was like, hold on, it's pretty. I'm saying it wasn't nothing crazy, but better than expected. We get Eddie Kingston versus Willie Mack. Now Willie Mack, you at least 275 at least, bro. You probably you're pushing 300 or you're past 300. You're up there is what I'm saying, my boy. Now, I guess it's just in his normal moveset. But he tries to do not even like a moonsault. He just tries to do a backflip and completely just butchers it.
Gave Eddie Kingston.
Did the commentator try to say something with his knee? I don't know if that was the plan. It didn't look that way. And it didn't play into the finish. But you too big to be doing that, bro. Imagine you're in a now. Granted, it's Eddie Kingston. He's another big boy. Pause. But imagine you're in a match versus Willie Mack, and he's like, you know what I'm thinking? Let me do this. No sir, no sir. I dare this Walmart Mark Henry to try to. No sir, I'm not going for that. We get Bryan Danielson versus Yuji Nagata. You get Eddie Kingston on commentary. So this was right after his match. And as he was walking out, I'm pretty sure Bryan, or maybe he just, I don't know. All I know is after the match, there is a part where he's like, oh, see, he's like not even trying to look at me. And then he finally looked at him and just flipped him off. But Bryan Danielson gets the dub. Pinfall win. We get Serena Deeb versus Robin Renegade. Returning Serena since I think it said like August 2022. And she gets the win by submission. I'm not familiar with her game, so I don't know how big of a thing this is. And then we get the House of Black versus FTR and Daniel Garcia. Steel cage elimination match. Now, in actuality, I don't know if I've ever seen this. I haven't seen this match before, is what I mean to say. So I'm not going to say this is their idea. But how does you leave you would want to leave the cage at the same time as your team? Because then your team's going to be in there and getting jumped and you can't help them. But Daniel Garcia was attacked earlier in the show. I think after the first match or first segment, they showed him backstage and then, he was bloodied up. Oh, who did it? He had to go seek medical attention. Then they're outside the medical trainer's door. Briscoe's like, hey, you need me? I'm you know what I'm saying? I'll be your replacement. It was like, we gotta know what medical's saying, man. So then he's doing his entrance, gets dumped from behind. And so he's just laid out on the side of the ramp. So now it's a 2v3. They're fighting outside the ring. And then I'm pretty sure Daniel Garcia pulls up. And then they finally get in the cage. If anything, y'all should have took out Briscoe and did y'all entrance. Hey, y'all about to hold this 2v3, bruh. And then have not like storyline, but like the wrestlers within the story. I gotta clarify this because I did the clip with the most useless WWE ref in history. And these low IQ comments talking about you know it's scripted, right? You know it's not real. When in the video did I say it was not real? You can't do that. Don't do that. Nigga, make it more believable. Hey, don't do this. I'm warning you. You're gonna be disqualified. That's against the rules. I made this example when I explained it to people. That's like me saying, man, a lot of these kids in school just be bad as hell. And then someone says, you know, they can't. The teachers can't hit the students anymore. When did I? Okay, no, that's not how I phrased it. If I said the teacher can't get a hold of her class, and you know she can't hit the students. What does that have to do with that? The other example you can, if you want to try to make the case, well, that's a whole different topic. I just had to clarify that for if anyone wanted to just. Anyways. But when Daniel Garcia pulls up, he pulls up with a chair. But speaking of, I don't want to compare this to someone with low IQ. So I tried to make a transition, but it just did not work. But there was a little uh-oh moment. I don't know if I'm just tripping, but this is all I know. Now, I don't know anything. I seen one match with Julia Hart. I don't know much about her. Now, I know, some people. I've only seen Japanese wrestlers use any type of mist. So I just hear.
He was knocked off onto the effort. The man
I'm like, if they do mist in this match, whoever did that, man, you're fired, man. You're fired. I don't even know who said it. I don't know if it was one of the wrestlers. I don't know if it was one of, I'm pretty sure there was refs around the cage. I don't know if it was one of them. I don't know if it was a cameraman or something. All I heard was mist. A couple minutes later.
Wait a minute, look at this, Nigel! Julia Hart just sprayed the black mist!
Speaking of Daniel Garcia, so it's down to the last two. I believe it was Malachi Black and Daniel Garcia. But he's about to leave. He's about to walk out. He said,
come finish me. Garcia said, come on in here and finish me.
Now hold on now. Pause on that. Pause on that. So he's like, all right. I guess I'll end this dude. Daniel Garcia, because he still got the chair. He pulled up. My bad. He pulled up with the chair. Goes a swing.
Absolutely. Wait a minute. Missed the roundhouse kick. Garcia. He's going to power drive him on the chair. Yes. Malachi's out.
Daniel Garcia's trying to climb. Malachi Black's trying to crawl towards the door. But not fast enough. We get an FTR and Daniel Garcia win. And then that's it for Collision. Now we got Monday Night Raw. All these episodes I've done, and even the ones where before I even caught of this, like the video is like, so I started watching wrestling again, and I think there's one more after that. So I started watching wrestling again. I think one more video, and then obviously the Royal Rumble reaction. And then I had these episodes of Here We Go Again. And all that time, I forgot to mention, and I think they changed it recently within like the last year, but the music for the Raw intro is ass, bro. That shit is terrible. The greatest of time. Unstoppable. Man, that shit is trash. I don't care if it's rap. I don't care if it's rock. Put whatever genre you can. Even if you find some fire pop shit, I don't care. If you find some clean country, oh no, country, you're gonna have to add some dashes of different genres in there to really. But I don't care what genre it is. Just make your intro heat. I'm not asking you to bring back the, you know, when they did the little thing and it was like Raw intro for Ruthless Aggression era. And I think one of the top comments, I don't know if it's still there, but it was like, even WWE itself misses the good old days. I'm not saying you gotta go back to that. When I was watching, it was damn, I don't know what the original, because I know Machine Gun Kelly remixed it, but I don't remember what the original song was called. Just, alright, look up MGK. It was either the start or 100 words of running. It was under 100 words of running mixtape. I don't remember what the actual song's called. But when I was watching, that was a song. You know, that's not my favorite song ever, but it was, you know, good song. Well, I mean, it's a good enough song. And if you're watching this, I have to preference every single thing, I guess, apparently, because people are just idiots. Hence the shirt. Hence my fucked up wrist. But the current shit, that shit is, yo, it's crazy that the video I just reacted to, I don't know, it's probably not on the channel yet, but, and it's just right here on my screen. I'm seeing homeboy who tried to rap in it. Both of y'all need to put the mics down forever. As a rapper to another rapper, yeah, that shit's trash. I don't know if the song's just cut weird. You know, there's some little, like, you know, that's a little cool redeeming part. Other than that, it's just trash. But they say the first hour is free. First hour is commercial free. And now we get Michael Cole and Pat McAfee as our Raw commentators. And then later we'll see that as Corey Graves and Wade Barrett on Smackdown. CM Punk opens the show. Punk is in a sling. Punk, I swear, bro, win the lottery, bro. Win the lottery. Please. Because it seems like, and we're going to talk about stories in a second, it seems like our stories are kind of like going parallel with each other. We go back to a company. We both are, you know, we both sustained an injury. I think it's both on our right sides. Me with the wrist, and then I think it was your right tricep. So I need you to win the lottery so I can win that bit right after. As soon as I see CM Punk wins the lottery, I'm instantly going to the highest thing, and I'm about to win that shit. Simple. But Punk's in a sling. I said, please be a worked. Maybe he turns heel ? Like maybe he tries to be like, oh, he didn't win the Royal Rumble, and he's trying to make excuse, whatever, however y'all want to play it. And then Drew McIntyre interrupts. Now, I'll be honest, Drew McIntyre, even though CM Punk's my guy, this was the segment that you got a fan, my guy. And he be on IG trolling. Y'all know, if y'all know me, I be trolling like crazy. So hey, man, you got a fan now. I was impressed with the transformation, but this is my first time really seeing you. When I started watching, you already turned heel like very recently. I said knew it wasn't a work when he started bringing up firefighters and cancer, because he started. I don't even know what I put right here. Oh, I said work. Maybe it's a work to not put Punk on every show. Because that was one of the things. I was like, oh, CM Punk's back. So I was just waiting for the Royal Rumble so he can have his first match back. Oh, 10 years. It makes it perfect. He left in the Royal Rumble. Now he's back in the Royal Rumble. He did house shows. That's just him trying to, get his bearings. I'm like, okay, maybe this is how we get CM Punk. And we don't have to make it a huge announcement. He's just on the roster. Now, granted, we don't know if he was just going to be a part-time or a full-time on a roster, but still. I was like, no, maybe this is a work. But I knew it wasn't a work when he started bringing up firefighters and cancer. It sucks, but I think about my buddy who got cancer and firefighters, and they're going through all this. I was like, yeah, say goodbye. It's over. Unless you turn heel and you're on some devious shit. Speaking of devious shit, heel shit, we gonna get to that in a second. You cannot bring that up and for that just to be a work. But speaking of heel devious shit, this man Drew said, I said a lot of bad things and I meant it. Even if this wasn't within the story, I respect that. I'm never, and I never expect anyone else to do it. If you say something and something bad happens to that person, I don't expect you to take it back. If I say, I think you're an idiot. I think you're an idiot because this, I think whatever it may be, all the things I say. And then you get jumped and now you're paralyzed or whatever it may be. I'm not going to be like, oh, I didn't mean what I said. No, I meant it. You are an idiot. It sucks that what happened, but you are an idiot. But he didn't stop there. He did not stop there. This man said, I prayed for this and it happened. Remember that we're going to talk about The Rock in a second. Remember that Rock promo when he was talking about Billy Gunn? And he was like having a little conversation with God. Drew McIntyre said, hey, he actually did have the conversation with God. Please get him out of here. And it happened. And I put, okay, so a work? Because he started stumping out his hand. Are we really going to take the chance like this? Like I was talking about my wrist. Listen. If I'm in a comment, like, nah. No, first, he tries to swing and then CM Punk's hitting him with the arm that is messed up. And then he's stumping on it. If I'm in that situation, I'm swinging with the left. I'm hitting you with kicks. I don't know if there's any type of move that I'll take the risk of you hitting my right. But yeah. So I'm like, oh, we're just really just doing this? But no one that I've heard has talked about that. But we probably are looking at a Drew versus Punk. Since I guess we're just screwed out from a Punk versus Seth. Seth got injured, and then Punk got injured. So it's kind of like what we're gonna talk about at the end of this. That's just like, bro, when it finally gets there, when it's finally time, it's gonna be like, dude, Now, Seth and Punk could probably still do well. But in the other case, it's completely worse. And people know it. We get DIY versus Finn Balor and Damian Priest for the tag team titles. There's 3 little slip-ups for McAfee. There's times when he would say something and it'll be wrong, or he'll say something and it was clear that, like, hey, you are not supposed to say that. Remember in my Royal Rumble reactions? In my Royal Rumble reaction when I was like, he said something about Hardy Boys. I don't even know if that was him. But it was kind of like an awkward pause. Just waiting for the next countdown. Like, they didn't even try to have someone say something to keep it pushing. It seemed kind of like he was getting told in his ear, nah, you can't say that. They're at the other company right now. We're only doing dealings with New Japan and TNA. So, I know if y'all really want to keep him. I'm not really the biggest. Granted, I don't know what he's done in the past, but so far, I mean, he's not terrible, but speaking of slip-ups, we get another. I don't know if we're following like the video game logic where you just have to be near the rope, but we get another foot on the rope slip-up where someone's getting a pin and then someone outside the ring. I think this was like the third or fourth time that I talked about in the video. And I think this was the second time it happened this week. I know it happened twice. One with, speaking of Seth Rollins' injury, when he was going against Jinder Mahal. And there was one on AEW. I think it was a Dynamite. I don't think it was a Rampage. And it probably wasn't a Collision. I think it was a Dynamite. And now this. And I think there's another one in there that I can't recall. But someone's outside the ring. And in this case, it was Finn getting pinned. And Damian Priest was going to put his leg on a rope. Where they'll go to put it on a rope. But miss the rope completely. And I don't know who's at fault. The person getting pinned or the person putting their foot on the rope. And then when a ref looks over, like, hey, their foot is on a rope. Their foot is not on the rope. And the ref can clearly see. They need the ref from that Kevin Owens and Logan Paul. They need that ref. Because he'll see that, their foot is not really on the rope. And this person is doing that. But there was a good tension, and it was an all-right match. Finn and Damian Priest retain. But it was good tension because they kept, building it. Oh, damn. Like they built up DIY. And they kept building it up like, ooh, they might take the championship right here. Or, oh, hey, they might retain right here, and then no. They kick out. R-Truth called Finn that. So after the match, Damian Priest is like, yeah, I know things been a little rocky, but we gotta tell y'all. We gotta basically tell y'all what time it is. They call out R-Truth. Says, hey, come in the ring. I promise I won't hurt you. And then he's like, Judgment Day, we're like a family. And before he could finish his sentence, R-Truth's like, yeah, like. You're like my older brother. Damian Priest is like, I'm older than you. He's like, Finn, he's like that weird uncle, but, we still love him. He calls, what did he call? He called JD that stepbrother that, like, brother-in-law that you don't really like or something like that. But he's still family. Damian Priest like, should have let me finish. Judgment Day is a family, but you're not in Judgment Day. And he's like, and I actually do like you. That's why I won't be doing this. Dominic, and before Dominic can even throw hands, JD's already throwing hands. And they was destroying this man. Pause on that. We get Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler versus Chelsea Green. And Piper Niven. So, obviously, Chelsea got her. I don't know. Why did they even take it away in the first place? Whatever, it's back. I'm not even going to question it. But I put W. McAfee. So maybe I do like him for getting Cole in on it. Because he was like, Chelsea Green, blah, blah, blah. He was like, no, Cole, you didn't say it right. And then Michael Cole attempted it. And I was gonna actually have this clip right here when you're seeing this on YouTube. But they cut it from Hulu. And I was not gonna go straight to USA Network to watch those ads again. No thank you. But I started writing my first notes, started making my tea, and then the match was already over. This match was, speaking of Punk, I'm sorry, you brought it up as well too, was shorter than CM Punk's fights, basically. That's how it felt like. Could have went longer. We only got 52 minutes of commercial free. So they lied. We only got 52 minutes of commercial free. Because at 8:52, they said, Cody Rhodes talks on Raw next. So then after we come back from break, Samantha says, please welcome the winner of the 2023 and the 2024 Royal Rumbles, Men's Royal Rumble match. Cody said, hey, say it again. Say it again. He said he likes hearing it. This was probably the last time that we're going to see Cody Rhodes smile this week. Now, if you're one of those people who count Sunday, as well as I do, as the end of the week, we only have what I'm streaming this, we only have 5 more hours. 4 hours and 45 minutes left to see him smile. And so, yeah, you better pull up at, what is it, Stand and Deliver? No, Vengeance Day. But I put don't ruin it, Seth, because Seth Rollins pulls up. He basically pitches it. Little did I know that it could be ruined even further. He's basically saying, this is the real workhorse title. Roman Reigns is only here a couple times a year. We can make that his new theme song. Roman Reigns is only here a couple times a year. We gotta make that flow a little better. The tribal the tribal chief is only here only a few times a year. We'll workshop that a little bit, add it to his theme. But he's basically saying this is the world title. I can tell you it's not. Even though they unified the Universal Championship and the WWE Championship, that is the title that Cody needs to win. So, poor naive me right here, thinking that, obviously it's not Seth Rollins, it's not him doing this, but the character, in actuality it would have been Seth and Cody, but in storyline to ruin it. But it got worse later on. We get Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed. Get a pinfall win by Jey Uso. Get a bye. Bronson a push. I guess the push was basically out the window when Seth Rollins got injured. And it's kind of messed up because I'm someone who, I seen you against Ivar. I did not care the slightest. I was like, oh, okay, Viking gimmick. seems interesting, but I didn't care. And then they had these little packages. He had the glasses. I was like, hold on, this could be cool. Let me see it play out. They stopped doing those little video packages as soon as Seth Rollins got injured. And now he just got, unless he comes up with some crazy shit, well, he just got handed an L by Jey Uso. Oh, and thank you for Andrade on Raw. So no, I did not want Andrade to be added to. Now, this is, like I said, when I was watching, he was not on the, I don't even know if he was NXT or anything like that. He was not on the roster when I was watching. And then when I started AEW, I think he had his last match while I was starting to watch. So I've completely missed on Andrade. But if he's brings hype like other people are talking about, I don't need him with Legado del whatever Phantasma, whatever their name is, and LWO. Keep him all the way away from them. Anytime they're up there, I'm just like, you're just there to fill the spot. We need a tag team match. Throw LWO in there. I don't care in the slightest. Then we get Kofi versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. I already said, Kofi, you're not winning. And that's the case. Y'all can play all the attention you want to. Like, I was actually, maybe DIY might win the championship. Maybe that might some turmoil in the in Judgment Day. Kofi, you're not beating Gunther. If anyone from New Day will be Gunther, it'll be a returning BE. It'll be a returning Big E. I still think that's where it's heading. Cause we already had the little where y'all fought in the crowd, and then y'all had your little moments. What was that? At the Royal Rumble. And now you're going after Gunther. Yeah, I don't know. Big E might be on the horizon, man. We get the Kabuki Warriors versus Natalya and Tegan Nox. I put pre-Kabuki win. Obviously. Natalya, I've never seen you really win like that. Have you even won a championship? Maybe you won a women's tag team. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you had a Divas title. Have you ever won a women's championship, a single title? I know you did some stuff in NXT. Have you even won anything down there either? They gotta be dropping you bread. At least Dolph Ziggler won the World Heavyweight Championship twice. He won the Intercontinental Championship multiple times, U.S. Champ, Tag Team multiple times, NXT Championship. He at least held all these titles. Speaking of NXT Championship, I like their old championship where it said NXT and it was all in black and gold. Their new stuff is basic as hell. I don't like how that shit look. That shit look like a mid-card title. I'm not even gonna lie to you. We get Bayley in Damage Control. Rhea pulls up, basically saying, hey, you challenge me, it's gonna be an L. You know that she says, you have this many champions in the ring right now. You choose me, it's gonna stay that way. Nia starts jumping. Basically told Bayley, hey,
you can pick Io.
They show her, they show the close up of her like,
you can pick anybody else. But Rhea isn't making it to WrestleMania.
Bayley said,
yeah, I mean, if you let me finish, I was going to say I'm going to make my announcement on Friday on Smackdown. Yep.
You just know when they say they're making their decision on this day, even though it's clear cut. is going to be something different. Why would Cody not instantly go to SmackDown and say he's making his... No, we already know what his decision was when he pointed. But maybe say, oh, hey, to formally do it and to formally tell Roman Reigns in person, face to face, I choose him. Then he goes to SmackDown. Not like moves to SmackDown, but like then he goes to the SmackDown that just happened. Why would the women's champion is on a Monday Night Raw? Bayley would say she would choose Rhea. Unless she's going to choose Io, then we'll go on Friday Night SmackDown. Even before Nia Jax pulled up. Then for our main event, we get Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. I'm going to be honest, I missed the accidental low blow. But apparently he goes for a kick and then he goes like this and then I heard from other people that looked too good. I guess I could have just fucking went back to... I didn't watch it on the playback, so obviously I was watching it live and there was no need for me to go back. Well, I guess when I got the clips. But I didn't remember it at the time. But I heard that it didn't look too good. Get the Claymore and then pin. We get the Drew McIntyre win. Bars. Now, NXT. We get Trick and Mello versus LWO. I know it's going to be LWO for a reason. L comes first. And I put LWO for a reason. And then I was like, oh, well, W is in the name too. So I was like, L comes first in parentheses. But there's a moment Trick hits, he hits, double book in. He's about to go for the book in and then it's like, rock bottom. We're going to get to the Rock in a second. But he has to double book in. And obviously Trick and Mello are going to win. Like I said, they thought LWO in there just to have another tag team. Do I ever expect LWO to be wearing tag team gold, whether it's NXT or the main roster? Never. Never in my life will I see that. Okay, let's just say never in my 20s. I'm not going to say end of my life. They got a fire storyline in 5 years or something like that. We get Roxanne Perez versus Tatum Paxley. She got to get her get back, man. You threw her through a table. She had to throw hands. We get Lyra Valkyria on commentary. And this is another moment where I love when the match starts during the break. It's my favorite. It's like, I don't want to see how match starts. Just start it during the break. But we get a pinfall win by Roxanne Perez. Then, speaking of some more get backs, we get Elektra Lopez versus Lola Vice. So, this is my first time seeing either of them in the ring. You already know that I seen them, man. I did like what I see. But speaking of like what I see, you know what I'm saying? Lola was hitting some cool little kicks.
Well, I even asked you. You said no. They're on the same. You told me to mind my own business.
I don't know what kind of moves she got up her sleeve. I was just talking about them looking good. And maybe they look good in the ring. But hey, if not, just tag me in. This is probably like the fourth time I said it. Tag me in.
Which means Lopez was right in what she was saying.
I'll take one for the team. I'll make sure you win this match. But you didn't tag me in. So now Lola Vice had to get that win. We get Ridge Holland versus Lexis King. So I heard Ridge Holland, oh, he hurts people. I was talking about Big E. I had to look up, oh, what injured Big E? And then I just see Ridge on the person's tights. I was like, oh, that was Ridge Holland. That's tough. But we get a pinfall win by Lexis King. Gallus jumps Ridge afterwards. Ladies of Chase U calendar. If y'all know me, I said I don't really care for any of this Chase U, none of this. You know, I like Thea Hale. You know, JC Jane's cool. From so far, I've seen more Thea Hale than JC Jane. Thea Hale just has a lot of energy to her, you know. She'll get me hype. But they doing a Ladies Chase U calendar. Hey man, maybe I do like their storyline after all. Maybe there was something about them that I did like in the first place. And I said, where can I order though? And I guess a lot of people were at my mind, because both the fans and Booker T, how much is the calendar? I said, where can I order them? I didn't ask how much it was. Okay, that's a lie. I'm not gonna pay crazy bread for just a calendar, dude. It don't matter who you put on there. I'm never gonna lie. At that point, I'll fucking bootleg it. I'll find someone who posts that bit online. But you know, if it's a little more expensive than a normal calendar, hey, you just send me the link, man. Speaking of some lovely ladies, we get Fallon Henley versus Ariana Grace. We get Ren Sinclair ringside, fangirling. So it's like, this is like, we got a lot of fangirl, you know, characters, fangirl gimmicks in NXT. We got Tatum Paxley. We got Thea Hale with Tatum Paxley with Lyra Valkyria. We got Thea Hale with, I forgot his name in Chase U. I forgot his name. For some reason I want to say Anderson something. I can't even think of his name. But and then now and we got Ren Sinclair with, I mean, Fallon Henley was just kind of that one person who was there when she was nervous for her first match. But I put Lash Legend sneak attack, but I don't really know how that was a sneak attack. Fallon Henley turned around and was looking at them for a good second, a good minute. Was just like walking to her just for her to hit her with a boot. In actuality, I did make that short about her laying you out. Lash to Fallon, you need to get back. You took another hit from her? Stop. But that allowed Ariana Grace to get the pin. We get Noam Dar versus Von Wagner, Heritage Cup. But boo-boo break match. I'm not gonna lie, my stomach was destroying me. So I had to go upstairs, because I was downstairs eating at the time, and then, you know, I was going back upstairs to start watching. Yeah, and this was the perfect time. You know what I'm saying? The stomach was bubbling. I had to go. Wasn't there? I feel like there's something afterwards. I feel like there was something that started afterwards, and I was like, damn, I missed that. Hey, I guess that's all we wrote for NXT. If there's something after that and I forgot, hey, that's too bad. Now we got AEW Dynamite, man. We get Jeff Hardy versus Jon Moxley. Another Moxley choke out. This dude choked out Jeff Hardy, bro. Just imagine thinking about that. Moxley got jumped post-match. No. Or didn't he do the jumping? Oh, no. They had, I don't know who they are. I guess they're from a different company, but there was ringside and it was about to start boxing, and then I guess at least they had the courtesy to wait till after the match to jump him. We get Hangman Adam Page versus Toa Liona. This was the dealer's choice match. And I'm going to be honest. When he gave the clues about Swerve's opponent, went up right over my head. Now, granted, when I'm watching, I'm not just watching like... A lot of the times, I'm doing something, watching, and taking notes. So when he was saying it, I might have been eating. I might have been making my food. I might have been editing. I might have been... When I end this stream, I'm probably going to turn on Collision while I'm doing the timestamps. I could have been doing I could have been doing something else. So I wasn't really... So we can give me a little pass on that one. Hangman can't lose unless only Swerve for AEW title. Because now we're bringing the rankings back. So Hangman can't lose. Swerve can't lose. Like, that's kind of like our only really storylines going on. Hangman, Swerve, and Samoa Joe. We had Hook there to kind of pad it out a little bit. And then we have Undisputed Kingdom. And them going after the championships. But we gotta wait till March with Orange Cassidy in the international title. Speaking of Undisputed Kingdom. Oh, by the way, Hangman, he had to win with a roll up. But we get Wardlow versus Commander. Wardlow win as expected. As expected. We get Chris Jericho versus Kyle Fletcher. Now, after recording it, because I was writing my notes live, and then as I was getting the footage, you can see a couple more people like thumbs down. But there's that one guy who thought he was so cool. I'm going to throw up the middle finger. Can't
wait for that tag match.
Like I said, unless there's some details that are not heard, you already know how I'm rocking on that. It could just be a thing that's, I wouldn't do that. But don't try to paint this person as like a dude. I'm not even going to give a comparison just to tarnish someone's name. Speaking of tarnish, you know what tarnish someone's name? Walking out there, public indecency. Because is it raining, babe? Hell yeah, it is. Why did Kyle come out looking butt-ass naked, dude?
And his opponent from Sydney, Australia, weighing in at 220.
I had to do a double take. I'm just doing something. I'm like, yo. But this is, even after his theme ended, Jericho was, getting some chairs. It was a pretty good match or some. When I say good match, it wasn't like nothing to like jump up and down for. But, there's some little hit moments here, little miss moments there, kind of balanced out a little bit. And I will say, even though you're doing this after so many decades, Chris Jericho, you need to hit the gym, buddy. You look well enough in the ring, but you look terrible in general, bro. And this is someone who, I would have put you on my Mount Rushmore, but this is someone who, you're always somewhere, some way, you're in my top 10 of all time. Because like I said, you have been doing this for decades. Your worst moments are better than this person's best moments. Inside the wrestling business, like ring work and mic skills. That's what I mean. But you look godly, bruh. It's like when Logic was like, Pepe, done got that boy lean, and then he dropped a picture, and Mans was looking, I don't know, Hopefully you started hitting the gym after that, Logic. And it's crazy because, you know, I'm saying this to Chris Jericho and the whole situation a couple weeks ago with Deonna Purrazzo. Because we got her versus Taya Valkyrie. We got Toni Storm on commentary. So everyone, pay attention. When she's on commentary, I don't care what you're doing. You must watch. Toni Storm is probably... Alright, since being back, whether it be in ring or just... because you could be good in ring and I don't really care much about whatever storyline you got going on. But Drew McIntyre recently won me over some. Toni Storm, she instantly got me like that. And then, okay, let me just give you an example. Because I don't want this to be like, oh, because you just think... Well, granted, she is attractive. But there's so many people who I just think is more attractive than her. Even though I make the jokes like, oh, Luther's winning right now. I wish I was him in this situation. Obviously, it's just a joke. I mean, I do. You know what I'm saying? I would be in that situation. But that's not my go-to, is what I'm saying. I don't like when people do things with a lot of bias in mind. But Drew McIntyre recently, Toni Storm. I gotta think about in-ring and story. There haven't been a lot of stories and like characters. You know, I just talked about potential with like Thea Hale. Like, I like how she got higher energy and stuff. Those are like my two people that I could think of right now. We was about to be cooking, and I'm not talking about The Rock just yet. With Cody, McIntyre, Punk, Rollins, and that just went down the drain. And some of it by accident, some of them by choice. But when she's on commentary, like The Rock says, you should know your role and shut your mouth. But pre Taya L, we can't build Deonna up to go against Toni Storm and her just to lose against this. Is this person's debut? Or I don't, like Thanos said, I don't even know who you are. But someone that I don't want to know who they are, but I do want to know who they know. Because Toni Storm on commentary said,
I also must add, I'm very happy to be in New Orleans. Wow. They gave me a lovely pair of beads when I got here, and they were not for my neck. But nonetheless, very lovely.
She was talking about, they were in New Orleans, she was like, oh yes, they gave me lovely beads, and they weren't for my neck. This is why you have to pay attention. Because I stopped listening for a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a bit. Whoa. What did she just say? Usually I'll say, this person must be stopped. Keep going. Keep going. And then she has a little face off with Deonna. And after she gets the headset back up, she gets helped back up and puts the headset on. She's like, oh.
Someone else is pissed in my seat. Someone's pissed in my seat. Is this how it works here? Oh, this is disgusting.
But obviously, Deonna had to get that win. Then we get Swerve Strickland. Dealer's Choice match. This one's a mystery. Now, they said something about 420 earlier. It didn't even process in my mind. Like, I knew that he did something with AEW and then WWE, so that was another reason why I didn't think about RVD. So I was like, 420. Like, I know that has to do with smoking, but I was like, what does that have to do with the person? And they made oh, some older, blah, blah, blah. And then even when his music played, I'm used to hearing one of a kind. So I don't know who this is until it starts showing the little yin yang thing on. Okay, I'm like, oh, RVD. Nice. I haven't seen RVD in a minute. RVD has been one of, the first wrestlers I think of in my first experiences. So we get Sir Strickland versus RVD. Prince Nana is out on injury. Speaking of injury, like I said, my wrist hurts. That hurt to do right there. I missed RVD. And Hangman Adam Page said it's going to be a hardcore match. How hardcore? Soon as Swerve Strickland turned around.
Oh boy.
We get a little Brian Cage hook interference. Brian Cage goes out to cause problems. Hook runs up with a chair, stops it, and then they go and fight backstage. There's a little mishap after interference. Was no big deal because I didn't even go back to try to record it. Good match. I put great match, but I just wanted to differentiate between good. Like when I say that was a good match, decent match. Sometimes when I say that, I mean it was an average match. They had a couple moments I was like, oh, cool. Or sometimes maybe it was an all right match, but it was better than what I was going to expect. So this was an actual good match, but I wrote great match because I wanted it to be shown that it's different from when I just say decent match. And we get that Swerve Strickland win. Like I said, he can't lose. RVD is my guy, but you're not in any storylines right now. Swerve Strickland is, and he's on the rise. Respectfully, your time has passed, RVD. Now, I'm not saying you can't hang, but you're not going to have a big push anymore. Unless it's some faction thing and y'all got older and newer guys, or maybe you're doing a final push for your retirement or something like that. Speaking of retirement, oh no, by the way, hanging, Swerve, face off. Speaking of retirement, we get AEW Rampage. How does that play in? You're gonna see my last quote at the bottom of my next page. We get Top Flight versus Private Party. Top Flight wins with a pinfall. Then we get Ricky Starks and Big Bill versus John Silver and Alex Reynolds. Don't even know who you are. You're not winning this. They're about to defend their championships against Sting and Darby Allin. If they lose this, their credibility is out the window. They just beat Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara, who just returned recently. Returned from... I don't even know if anything was actually wrong with him after that dive, but returned in storyline. Hopefully everything actually went well. Hopefully only in storyline. And then also... Yeah. That was the main thing for Sting and Darby Allin. Then we get Willow Nightingale versus Queen Aminata. Statlander and Stokely are ringside. Stokely is being forced to be a fan of Willow Nightingale. It might be a thing of, like a little frenemy situation. Or a situation where these people are enemies and then they turned friends. But I don't remember which commentator said it. But they said it.
Queen Aminata, she is the real deal, Tony Schiavone.
But she did nothing but lose. I don't know if you did that as a nod to Michael Cole when he said the same thing about Natalya and Tegan Nox. I've seen Natalya, Tegan Nox, and Queen Aminata do nothing but lose. How are they the real deal? Now, granted, I respect Natalya. Tegan Nox, I don't really know much about her. But Queen Aminata, she seems cool. The first match, I didn't really care. I forgot who. I think, was it Mariah May? It was someone. All I know is I didn't care. I'm gonna be honest. You owe it to Sheeta. Cause I liked y'all's match together. And you know, you've always been that person where it's like someone's coming back, they're versing Queen Aminata. Their first or second match back. And you've done nothing but lose. We get a pinfall win by Willow Nightingale. Okay, so this is that one. Okay, for sure. No, that's not it. Tripping. I'm trying to think about the end of the NXT thing that I was talking about earlier. But then we get Cool Man, Aang, and I'd even, like, after they said, oh, this is a 4v4, I said, I don't know and care for any of y'all to even write y'all down. And plus, I'm not saying blah 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 magic. I refuse to call another man that. No sir, no thank you. So I just put 4v4. And y'all lost anyway. I don't even remember who your partners were. I didn't really pay attention to this one. I'm not even gonna lie to you. At the bottom of it, I just put mid as the show in total. Mid. Speaking of mid, let's talk about Friday Night Smackdown. So like I said earlier, Wade Barrett and Corey Graves are the commentators now on SmackDown. At least for the foreseeable future. We have them on SmackDown. We got Pat McAfee and Michael Cole on Raw. And we got Booker T, and I believe his name is... Actually, let me look it up. I believe I heard the name Kevin Patrick. Because I think that name was floating around when it came to who's going to replace... I don't even remember what Homeboy's name was who was on SmackDown. Oh, no, Kevin Patrick is the one who got removed. Okay, well, then that's stuff. I don't remember who's on NXT. That's besides the point. We get Kevin Owens versus Austin Theory. We also had a little segment before them with Kevin Owens and, well, Logan Paul basically opened up the show. Kevin Owens gets the win, uses the brass knuckles. He made sure to hide him this time. He says, "You're going to have to catch me." We get a backstage. Look, hold up. No, that's not even the right one. Hold up. We get a backstage segment with Naomi. She signed a SmackDown. Okay? We basically all expected that. But what I wasn't expecting, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, but what I wasn't expecting, Bianca Belair, man, she looking good, man, in that little black. She had that leather, man. She was looking good, man. I tell you what, she was looking good. And that's all I'm going to say in that one. But speaking of Bianca, we get a backstage segment with her and Logan Paul. I'm going to be honest, this was like the first time when Logan actually made me laugh. This was a segment that he was involved in that actually made me have a little chuckle. So basically, she's talking to Nick Aldis. She's like,
I just want to know, what is it that I have to do to face Io for the WWE Women's title?
Logan Paul interrupts. He's talking about,
give me a challenger. They're calling me a part-timer. I'm sick of it. I need a challenger. It can be anyone except Kevin Owens.
She's like,
Excuse me, we're kind of in the middle of a conversation right here.
He says,
me too. Congrats on 2K, by the way. Your excuse. Nick, anyone.
One, her facial expressions throughout this whole segment was just on another level. And two, just like some of the quick things that he was like throwing in there. The congratulations on 2K, but immediately that's when he hit her with the "you're excused."
Congrats on the reality show, by the way. I'm a big fan of your husband. Think about this.
I'm a fan of, and you think you're about to say, oh, he's a fan of like her career, whatever it may be. I'm a fan of your husband. Come on, bro. If they didn't have this reality show, I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't even know who her husband was. Be honest. Unless you like show me the picture, I'll be like, oh, is that the guy? Isn't that guy? No. I'm just saying how it is. I'm just saying how it is, man. Then we get Pretty Deadly versus LWO versus Legado del Fantasma versus Dune and Butch. Pete Dune and Tyler Bates. Now, I couldn't see anyone winning this besides the former. Pretty Deadly, you can just stay off my screen forever. Respectfully, get new gimmicks. First and foremost, I'm good on all that extra stuff. Second of all, when I look at y'all, I just look at all that extra stuff mixed with Legolas cosplay. They got the whole Legolas cut going on. LWO, and unless y'all are going to have a thing where one of y'all caused the other one to lose, I wouldn't really see y'all. So that just leaves, I mean, they just established this tag team. Y'all have to win this. You have to. And then I guess we kind of did have the play in with Elektra Lopez being there and Selena Vega, you know, helping out, even though they didn't end up winning. Like I said, I don't really care for the storyline in the slightest. Then we get okay. So I already heard about the final segment in Smackdown before I even watched it. Like I said, I can't watch it live. I'm not going to be able to watch it live until October when they move to USA Network. Why? Because Fox does not want to let me watch it. I'd have to actually I can't watch it on a computer. So I have to wait for it to go on Hulu. So if anything's ever taken out that's not put on Hulu, I will never be able to see it. Unless I compare to what I've seen on Hulu to what they have on YouTube. And even then, they're going to edit it down on YouTube. It's funny that we're going to be talking about editing something down on YouTube later on. But so I already heard about the final segment. So that's why when I wrote this down, I said, we're going to get Io Sky versus Bayley at WrestleMania. Unless Trish Stratus, I'm saying someone that's like one of the most popular women of a different generation. Or Ronda Rousey, as in like outside star power. That's the only one I can think of who's had a prominent career in the women's division. Make her choose not to. So just imagine that. Imagine Ronda Rousey returns and she's like, oh, I know someone who's a good fighter who will be able to beat you up, Io. And then you just hear Ronda's theme. It'll be like, and then she just gives away her WrestleMania moment. I'd be like, bro, what was that? So Bayley, we have this little backstage segment. I know it's a scripted thing, but I'm just saying in terms of the script. We have 3 people who speak Japanese. But then they say for one line, Bayley's done tonight in English. That doesn't make any sense, but whatever. Bayley overheard it, obviously. Okay, goes out to the ring. He says, I can choose a good fighter, or I forgot what she said. I could choose one of the best or something like that. And choose Rhea, because to Rhea watching her in the ring. Or it could be something personal. And she's basically like, why, Io? We formed Damage Control together. Kabuki Warriors jumper. I don't believe that Io got any hits in. This could be heat. I'm not gonna lie, this could be heat. I have to go back and see though. But they jump her. And then she grabs a pipe. I wish she would have grabbed like a Kindle stick or something. The pipe was like small and just and just like looked kind of weird. Like I always think about logistics when it comes to certain things. I'm like, okay, like it just doesn't seem like unless it's the only weapon you have, it just doesn't seem like a decent weapon. So as she's about to go to hit Io, she stops. And then Io's about to hit her with a championship and she stops. So this could be a cool little scenario of like the Kabuki Warriors influence Io, and you know she's kind of torn in between the two. Obviously the Kabuki Warriors, they're against Bayley. Bayley is against them. And Io and Bayley are against each other, but there's still like that friendship there. Granted, I was not watching during the formation, so I don't know how well that friendship was written. And I don't know how Dakota's gonna play into it, but it could be heat if y'all play your cards right. Like I said, don't have Ronda or Trish Stratus come back and make her give up her championship WrestleMania moment. Do not. Speaking of, oh no, my bad. We got Final Testament versus Lashley and the Street Profits. Never mind. Tiffany Stratton versus she need a different name because like it be sounding like she's a knockoff Trish Stratus. But Tiffany Stratton versus Michin. She slapped the hell out of her earlier, but obviously this is her debut. She got to get this dub. But she does her moonsault, gets a pinfall win. Now, I'll make sure this all right. Now, we get Cody Rhodes. I'm sorry, y'all. It's 8 o'clock, so that means it's Vengeance Day time. I'm gonna turn the audio down, but I gotta have it playing you know what I'm saying? I gotta have it playing right here as I'm streaming. Hold on. Hopefully y'all had no matches in the pre-show. Excuse me. Also, that's a lie. I was going to say Collision, Vengeance Day is what we're going to start with next time, but it's going to be Collision. Because I haven't seen that either. But Roman Reigns comes out. He basically just buries the hell out of Seth Rollins. And granted, okay, let's say what you want to say about Seth Rollins is valid. Quite literally, little bros him. He says, my little brother Seth Rollins. You hear a couple of people, yeah, but not really anyone. He's like, exactly, no pop. But the bad part was that he's buried the World Heavyweight Championship. Haven't I beat everyone for that title? That's the second-rate title. You know, build up this title been active for 1 year? I don't know what happened to the other one. That was personally one of my favorite looking titles, but so then Cody Rhodes finally comes out. We get Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso outside the ring. He said, I wanted to be just us. Granted, they're still there and the audience is still there. He said more private or something like that. Like, no one's there anymore. Like, okay, whatever. They're just outside the ring. Whatever you want to say. So then he's basically going down everything he wants to talk about and says, I will beat you for that championship. Just not at WrestleMania. Meanwhile, I already know what time it is. I already know that The Rock is still in his moment somehow, some way. I wasn't watching live. I was like, what? They didn't even make it believable? If anything, you should have had Cody Rhodes, if he was going to say not at WrestleMania, unfortunately not at WrestleMania, he should have said, and have him play into this. Have him go out there in Raw. If you want to even save this, have him go out there in Raw. Have him cut promos. Have him be on some CM Punk pipe bomb shit, where he's basically fed up. He was going to finally finish the story, and he was told that he couldn't. And if he wanted to actually use his WrestleMania thing, he'd have to go against Seth Rollins. Or maybe he wanted to, maybe Gunther, whatever it may be. But he can't go after Roman because we need this Rock situation. Hold on now. It's Trick Williams' entrance. Y'all gotta wait. It's Trick Williams' entrance. Dad Trick! Whoop Dad Trick! Whoop Dad Trick! Listen, I know they homeboys, but y'all gotta stop trying to blend in Carmelo's theme, cause whoop that trick. But Wade, you don't. I know Wade did not just hear Shimon. Alright, but yeah, what's his name? Carmelo Hayes, his theme is not ass like the Raw's intro theme. It's just, it's not really that crazy. It's not nothing special. My bad, y'all. Let me make it, hold on. Now, we're going to keep that in there. We're going to keep that in there. But, damn, what was I saying, though? Oh, have them be in some CM Punk pipe bomb shit. This is BS. They made me give up this opportunity. Have them talk crazy. Well, you can't really turn them heel, but, like, this could have them be, like, against the system babyface. And he could do other things, like maybe he could feud with, instead of just pointless feuds with Shinsuke Nakamura, he can have feuds with people being like, yo, I never got this opportunity. This is how you bring other stars into the mix. Even if you're so focused on Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40. And he's going to finish the story at SummerSlam or WrestleMania 41. This can be a way to keep the momentum. But what you did just made him look like a complete idiot. You can still kind of fix it with that suggestion, but it's a little shaky. Now, granted, I'm not someone who wanted to. I mean, I want to see it, but not in sacrifice to what we're getting. It's kind of funny because this is kind of reminding me of like some shit Activision will be doing with Call of Duty, where like, hey, let's try to appease new people who are going to watch this one WrestleMania. Granted, that WrestleMania is going to do numbers, crazy, massive amount of money. But it's going to affect them in other aspects. But the reason I say it's ironic is because a lot of things I gave up, like entertainment wise, was around 2015, 2016, 2017. And two of the bigger ones were Call of Duty and WWE. At the time, I didn't watch any other promotion. There was no AEW at the time. So, like, one of the things was just kind of basically greed. That's why I'm trying to keep. I'm saying it like I'm carrying it, but I'm saying like, even though I like some of their matches better, I'm trying to, we need AEW. Because if there's no competitors, we're just gonna get a whole bunch of BS. But where it's just like greed, where Or not even greed. Sometimes it's just like, hey, appreciate what you have. And what can you do to keep what you have and bring other things in? Or, oh, you have The Rock and Roman Reigns? Let's start that maybe at WrestleMania 40 and then finish it at WrestleMania 41. But no, you can't just say, hey, this is what we're going to give you, but we're not going to give you that anymore. The people who are watching every single Monday Night Raw, Friday Night Smackdown, every single NXT, every single PLE, attending some house shows, we know this is where we're going with it. But we need the people who aren't going to watch. They might watch a Royal Rumble. They might watch a WrestleMania. Let's give them this instead. And y'all made the decision at the last moment. Or if anything, let's say you did all that with Cody Rhodes. You got the bloodline there. It's a bloodline storyline that you want to display with Head of the Table. Have the bloodline in storyline take out Cody Rhodes. See, it's not even that this is the route that you went. You just took every stupid way to do it. You made Cody look like an imbecile. Like, hey, I want to complete my story. Like, in storyline doesn't make sense. Hey, I want to complete my story, but I'm not going to do it even though I worked hard to win back-to-back Royal Rumbles. That's another story that you told. Like the WWE, not Cody Rhodes. That's another story you told. You made sure to... That's why I knew he was winning, because y'all kept saying, no one has won in over 26 years. So you just took every wrong turn you could possibly take to get to this moment. So the reason, now if you just look at the bottom of my page, you see L Friday shows. Listen, besides the damage control thing, and who knows, I don't even, as they just fucking botch in the ring, I mean, granted, you only have 2 months, so like, can you really mess it up that much? I don't even know. I don't even have that much faith that you can like execute it properly after this. And all I'm gonna end it with, CM Punk never lied. But yeah, man, that's gonna be it for this one. We just hit the 90. I don't know how long. If it's going to be longer or shorter when I edit it on YouTube. But we just hit that 90 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I want to keep these between 30 to 90 minutes. 30 is probably reasonable, so I'm thinking more 45 to 90 minutes. But yeah. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. And those ideas that I came up with, I didn't write those down. Man, y'all just see my notebook. Other stuff had like some things with it. I literally just put Rock and Cody and Roman. That's literally all I put. And then under that says L Friday shows. I literally came up with those concepts like these. There's no me. Oh, okay. No, I came up with it. So there's no excuse. Oh, maybe it's because Punk got injured. No excuse. You have a room full of writers. Come up with something. Even if you really want to tell this story instead of the story that you're going to tell. If they told it in a different way, matter of fact, if they told it in a different way, you can at least backtrack on it. You can at least movement it. Because speaking of, hold on, matter of fact, we're about to pull it up right now. When I said re-editing something, by the way, they tried to re-edit that segment and post it on YouTube. But let's look at the original segment. Let's see if they even take it off eventually. Hold on, it's in my history because I always want to go back and look at the dislike ratio. One day ago, 4.5 million views, 103,000 likes, and 553,000 dislikes. This is like Infinite Warfare trailer levels. Just think, it dropped, and then maybe like within less than 12 hours, I think, it was their most disliked, second most disliked video. And their first most disliked video had, no, was it first or third? I don't remember what the statistic was, but it was like this many dislikes, but only this much amount of views. Not like more than it, but I'm saying like a lot of people who sat there and watched the video disliked the video. Anyways, it's gonna be it for this one. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. What do you think about the little, I want them just to continue with the story, but not with the story they're trying to tell now, but like Cody's story. Because like, even if you don't like Cody Rhodes, now you can finally stop hearing him talk about the story. He finished the story. Just those couple things I said, oh hey, if you want to backtrack, well, you can't backtrack, but if you want to say, if you want to make the most out of it, go this way. You should have told it this way. What do you think of those that I just came up with the top of my head? Are they about to lose? Okay, but yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Thumbs up, subscribe, stay tuned for the next one, and I'm out. Peace.